Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today I'm playing the hottest new thing in town. This is Jeskai Days Undoing. This deck has popped up in the last week or two and kind of taken the metagame by storm. If you've been watching the evolution of Legacy on this channel, you'll know that we went from playing lots of basic lands probably 6 months ago to leaning into more powerful spells more recently with the 4 and 5 color control decks playing Expressive Iteration and Witherbloom Command and all of these awesome gold cards just to try to keep up on the power level of Is It Delver basically. And then that meta started to eat itself. I've played on the channel versions of Bant that play back to basics to eat the other versions of Bant. We have been gotten by Blood Moon on the channel out of a Grixis control deck while I was on a 4-color Bant deck with 0 basics. We've seen the meta start to shift against those greedy mana bases. And this one has come full circle. There's 6 basic lands in this deck. It's playing its own Blood Moons, and it's doing something that we were doing right before Modern Horizons 2 came out, actually. This is ancient technology in Days Undoing. That's not to say Days Undoing hasn't been around the whole time. People have been doing this here and there, but this shell really pushes it to a new level. Days Undoing is the time twister that ends your turn if you cast it on your turn. And it doesn't matter if your turn ends if you have a fresh 7 and 7 treasures and your opponent's hellbent. Okay, go. There's 3 Hullbreacher and 3 Narset in this deck to really max out on the Days Undoing. You got Force of Will to punch it through. There's 4 Teferi Time Raveler. That is the biggest number I've ever seen in a Legacy deck. It's the biggest number you're allowed to put in a deck. But normally I see 1 or 2 Teferis, 3 if you're really feeling froggy. But there are 4 Teferis in this deck. They are hyper focused on making the Days Undoing thing happen, and it really gets to leverage the extra Swords to Plowshares in Prismatic Ending. Like, all white based control decks have 7 or 8 Swords to Plowshares functionally these days, but what every control deck doesn't have is closing power. A lot of the times you'll Prismatic Ending, a Dragon's Rage Channeler, Swords to Plowshares, a Ragavan, Swords to Plowshares, the next Ragavan, and then you die to Murktide Regent. Maybe even 4 or 5 turns later, because your control deck is just like, okay, hope to find the Uro now and start to pull ahead slowly. And this deck, the second it has a little bit of breathing room, is going to put you to Hellbent and draw 7 fresh cards. Just bam, Mind Twist you and also draw 7. That's really powerful. Plus Teferi just lines up well against what a lot of the format's doing. Just bounce that Murktide Regent, bounce that Uro. Those take time to come back down again. Really cool deck here. This is largely immune to Wasteland. Most hands will be immune to Wasteland. You have your Pyroblasts in the sideboard, which go a long way in blue mirrors. Meltdown versus the Saga decks. I really like everything that's going on here. I knew this deck would be up my alley when I loaded it into Magic Online, and I didn't need to borrow any cards from Card Hoarder. It's been a very long time since I advanced my collection, and in fact, I've been selling things off ever since Card Hoarder sponsored the channel. But I keep the cards that I really like and know that I'm going to play a lot, and there were 0 cards in the 75 that I needed to borrow. These are all cards that I really like. I'm excited to try the Days Undoing thing. Channel supporter Spunky and I were working on a Bant Days Undoing deck long ago. If you go back on the channel, you'll find them. Right after Oko and Dreadhorde Canis were banned, right before Modern Horizons 2 came out, we were doing basically this, but in Bant. And It's come full circle. It's back. Like, Days Undoing was bad for a while. There was just a lot of hate for the type of thing that makes it happen, but metagames move, and we're back at the top where we were 6 to 8 months ago. And here's Days Undoing in a Jeskai shell. Let's go check it out. I'm on the play in round 1 against Nevilleshoot, which is a name I recognize. Pretty sure they're a Doomsday player. The Hullbreachers are hot fire, but having nothing to do earlier than that, and Prismatic Ending's probably dead in this matchup, I'm gonna mulligan this. This is more like it. Keep this bottom of plains. I'm gonna get Tundra and cast Ponder. I don't think they're gonna attack my mana. 3 more Ponders, or 2 more Ponders. Okay. I'll keep them and hope I have a little bit of time to work on this. Uh-oh. I was mistaken. This is not Doomsday at all. This is something far more horrific. Really glad they didn't cast Chalice of the Void. I'm going to shuffle this. That's not what I want. There's 2 lands and plow. Moto Bug to plow back on top. I'll get a basic here and cast another Ponder. Days Undoing Prismatic Ending. Okay, I'm happy to see Prismatic Ending. Now that I know that it's some sort of Ancient Tomb deck. I'm so confused right now. Maybe I'm just wrong and this is not who I thought it was. Okay, they missed a land drop. I can snap Ponder or I can ending this Dimir Signet. That would be the aggro play. If this is some sort of show and tell deck, like there is a Grixis show and tell deck floating around, but I don't know about the Dimir Signet. That's not normal. Right, I'm gonna end the Signet and hope I don't get Chalice next turn. God, are they Hullbreaching? They are Hullbreaching. Okay. Oh, and Force of Willing. Okay. Well, I'm not mad about that Force of Will. Let me just kill this Hullbreacher right now. Alright, cool. Oh, they're kind of doing what I'm doing. This Days Undoing in my hand just got a lot worse. I think I'm just going to pass with Snap Plow up. I can't afford to Snap Ponder just straight into another Hullbreacher. But if they have a Hullbreacher, they're going to cast it here. Okay. The Hull is breached. I'm going to pass, actually. And I'll even take 3 if they want to attack. But if they just slam a draw 7 here, I want to be able to remove the Hullbreacher in response. Tezzy boy. Yikes. Alright. Tezzeret's going to plus. Found another Talisman. This deck is awesome. They did not attack. Smart. I'm still going to Snap Plow. Okay. They had Force Thirst for Knowledge. I have another Snapcaster. Not dead yet. Oh, I have my own Hullbreacher also. I could just put us both into a Hellscape. They have Talisman and a Mystery card. I just have to remove their Hullbreacher. That's not negotiable. That's not a card I can abide by being in play. How about Snapcaster Mage, though? Been a long time since we got to really play that card as a backbone of a control deck. Oh, Tez can dome me for 6 here, but that seems terrible. It can make a 5/5. Looks like drawing cards is the answer, though. Found the Chalice. Uh-oh. Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah, get that one in before you get Chalice. Or you Chalice yourself. That probably indicates this is a Saga deck as well, which makes a ton of sense. That's cool. Ooh, Narset. I like that. That means I don't get to attack Tezzeret. I can't attack Tezzeret anyway because they have Retrofitter Foundry. Never mind. I am just gonna end step Hullbreacher and then we're gonna undo the day. Hullbreacher would resolve right now if I cast it. The only card in hand is the Talisman. Alright, I'm gonna be greedy. Oh my god. Greed is rewarded. Breach. Are you thirsty, opponent? And then they have to discard 2 cards unless they discard an artifact. Bang! Alright, Greed was rewarded this time. They probably want to start making 5/5s with Tez and pounding in. But I guess trying to put cards in your hand makes sense too. Plus Tez. I don't know how combo-y this deck gets. Is this a Thopter Foundry deck, or is it just artifact value? Oh, the Strix is going to give me another treasure. Alright, you get your 1/1 Death Touch. I have another treasure. I get to cast Narset and Days Undoing this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm almost in trouble to Tezzeret going Super Saiyan on me. Fortunately, I can't dress down. I don't really think I need to. I could attack with both creatures at Tezzeret, dress down, which turns off Hullbreacher for the turn, which means they don't get to Days Undoing, but they are top decking anyway, and I can still Narset reload. I could just lead on Narset and see where that goes. I have enough mana right now to do stuff. If I find Prismatic Ending, I can just hit Tezzeret with it. Teferi. I like Teferi. Yeah, Teferi can bounce Baleful Strix. They can play Teferi, bounce the Strix, making sure this is not a Thopter. It's not. Get Strix out of here. Get my land drop. That means I can still Days Undoing after the dust settles here. Or do they want to let Tezzeret take 5, or do they want to kill Teferi? Kind of an interesting choice here. Okay. Kept Tezzeret at 4. And we're going to go for a spin. And they're almost hellbent already, but drawing 7 is a good deal that I'm interested in. The turn will end immediately, but wow, that's messed up. Big fan of everything that's going on there. There's also a cool thing you can do where Days Undoing says end the turn. So if you have Teferi and your opponent does something like activate Retrofitter Foundry in your end step, you can flash in Days Undoing and end the turn, and that clears the stack and also like stifles their Retrofitter Foundry as a result. They can soldier up one of these artifacts and try to attack. I can block with Hullbreacher if I care, or they can try to put a creature in their hand, or just anything in their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts. They can 12 me next turn, but they actually can't because Hullbreacher is coming back down. Yeah, this is messed up. Big fan of everything that's happening right now. Yeah, that was nasty. Awesome. Cards that are going to be good include Meltdown, Pyroblast. I think I like Force of Negation. Definitely like Null Rod. Do I want to Blood Moon this opponent? Probably not. Null Rod and Meltdown are both already Blood Moons against this opponent. I'll chill on that. These are Pyroclasms, not Pyroblast. This is a Red Elemental Blast. We've seen Hullbreacher, we've seen Tezzeret. We can assume there's going to be some draw 7s. I guess not necessarily. Maybe they're just a big mana blue deck that isn't really pushing for the combo kill. It's just you're playing this fast mana anyway. Hullbreacher's a powerful spell. I'd be willing to believe that. I expect this to be a Saga deck where Blood Moon is actually good. The Meltdown is good too. Do I wait until I see a Saga, or do I just bring in 1 Blood Moon to cantrip 2 if I need to close a door? Swords to Plowshares has just been upgraded to Pyroblast. I can't go too skinny on Plows because them being a Hullbreacher deck's also worrisome, but they are a Chalice of the Void deck as well, so I can't just have 21 drops in the deck. Flusterstorm seems medium. I don't think I saw an instant or sorcery in that entire game 1, other than Force of Will, which I guess is a good one to fight over, but Teferi can do that too. Yeah, I think I'm just going to bet on my board to fight the Chalice rather than pile up on forces to do that. Let's go. I'm going to keep this hand slow and steady, but Shark, Typhoon, Force of Will, and Prismatic Ending are exactly the type of cards you want against a potential Chalice of the Void deck. By the way, I did some Googling. Nevilleshoot is definitely the Doomsday player that I thought, and has it in his, or there, I guess I don't know, this person, in their MTGO results, there's about 100 Doomsday results, and then a 5-0 with band control, and now we're playing against this thing. Looks like they're branching out. Trying new things. All right, there's the Saga confirmed on that one. Days Undoing. Do I like any of this? I think I like the Pyroblast, and then I'll keep options on the Days Undoing. Probably going to bottom the Days Undoing. Or shuffle away. It doesn't go to the bottom. This is a stacked start here from the opponent. I'm going to fetch the... I guess I have a fetch land in my hand. Do I need to fetch red? Yeah, I'll fetch red just in case. In case I rip Blood Moon off the top like I'm about to. Nope. I tried. Okay, I can play to Fairy, bounce Urza Saga, and try to buy some time to figure this out. I think that's a reasonable call. My opponent's deck definitely can't have Blood Moon or Back to Basics in it. Look at that mana base. I'm not sure I would even fight over this, even if I could. Yeah. I'm going to bounce Urza Saga. They get to make one construct, which gets to kill Teferi, but it resets the construct. They don't get the second one right away. They don't get the tutor right away. Teferi cantripped on the way through, so I think that was the play that treads the most water, which is all I'm trying to do right now. Here comes the construct to kill Teferi. No surprises there. Oh, speaking of surprises, that's tricky. I guess it's not that tricky because, yeah, if I fetch a plains, yeah, so I fetch plains. I was about to say I get blown out by Hullbreacher, but this will be a mountain after Blood Moon resolves. They would need 2 counter spells to win this fight. Is there another red source in this deck, or am I just... Oh yeah, there is a basic mountain. I could try to spend a turn getting to that, but really just clipping this saga right now would be the cat's meow. Okay, let's try it. Blood Moon. I'm pretty happy to expend resources to fight over this. Force pitching Narset. Force pitching Ponder. Please don't have another one. Let this resolve. Shit. Yeah, Pyroblast would have got us through this one because you can't fluster Blood Moon. I would be able to Pyroblast the Force. So that happens. And then I'm going to ending this construct. Okay, bummer. That was pretty exciting. We did get a 3 for 2 out of it, and the card they pitched was Narset, which is like worth millions. That's also worth millions. Let's hope this Pyroblast holds. A Prismatic Ending. Gonna Pyroblast Jace right now. Just face up it. Let's go. Please don't answer this. Force of Negation. Pitching Force of Will. Okay. Yeah, the thing about Force of Negation here is that they can hard cast it if we get to their turn. So casting it now costs an extra card. Alright. Here's the Saga. It didn't float mana, didn't make a construct. We're just popping this thing. Let's see if they're heads up enough to Pithing Needle Shark Typhoon. I'm a little worried about Hullbreacher, but I gotta pressure their mana somehow. If they just slam Tezzeret, I get to go into the Typhoon. There he is. And they found Seed of the Synod. 2 other mystery cards in hand. End a turn, make a 2/2. This would be a great time for a Pyroblast or a Hullbreacher. Barry, are you good? Not sure. Brainstorm's good. Brainstorm's always good. Okay, Brainstorm first. See what happens. Pyroblast and Snapcaster Mage. Those are all good cards. I'm going to put Snapcaster Mage second from the top with Prismatic Ending above it. And I'm going to play Teferi. See if this resolves. Which it likely will, because I have Pyroblast in my hand. Though if they force this, pitching Force of Negation. Okay, my top... So, here's the options. I can resolve Teferi, draw into Prismatic Ending, then still face down these Planeswalkers. I think I just want to... A Prismatic Ending Snapcaster Major on top of the deck. I can kill Jace right now. I think that's better than the Teferi. It sucks that that Snapcaster Mage is so far away at this point, but that's okay. Pyroblast Jace, and then attack Tezzeret. Prismatic Ending can get rid of Retrofitter Foundry. The Shark can provide pressure on the Tez. Okay, opponent said in the chat, time got away from him and he had to go pick up his daughter, so had to go. This was heating up, but real life takes precedence over Magic Online. And this one was getting pretty interesting. I am curious how this would have played out. It's still anyone's game, but GG's opponent. Really cool deck. On to the next one. on the draw in round 2 with this one lander with no cantrips, and the land's not even basic, we mulligan these. Here we go. This hand's beautiful. Just 3 basic lands, 1 of each color. We'll force a will action, a shark. I'm actually gonna bottom the basic mountain. There's no red cards in the main. I'm fairly confident. Yeah, it's just a blue-white deck with red cards on the sideboard, as Magic should be. I'm gonna ship the mountain to the bottom. Lands are the most replaceable effect in this deck, meaning that I have the most of them, and each of these 4 spells in my hand is very unique in its function. Opponent mulled to 5 and then played Volcanic Island. All right, immediately replace the land. No harm, no foul. Opponent has a Brainstorm. I'm not gonna... If I had like Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce, maybe I would pressure the mull to 5 here on this Brainstorm, but this is not a Force of Will. If this is some sort of Jeskai mirror... Oh, is it Ragavan? Okay. Are you down? DRC. Okay. Days Undoing is in my hand now. That's cool. I can end step a Dress Down, or I could wait till they dash Ragavan. I'm casting Dress Down in this turn cycle. I just want the cantrip, and the card just isn't very good. I think I want to end step it, because that turns off Surveils on their turn. And if they dash Ragavan, it will have haste, but it won't steal cards from me. I don't care about. And if they spend a Daze on this, that's a Daze they're not going to spend on my Hullbreacher and Days Undoing in my hand. Okay, cool. Dress Down resolves. Ooh, Flusterstorm is a nice one for this particular matchup. Expressive Iteration, the saddest, only looking at 3 cards instead of 4. Alright, this Dress Down has been good for like 1.5 cards so far. Count it. And this is also a sorcery in the graveyard. They are flirting with Delirium. It might be worth 1.5 cards and 2 life. Okay, they exiled Ponder. Let's see if they have the land. They didn't pre-combat it. Big oof. No land from the opponent after they exiled their Ponder. Big whiff on the EI front. I think I'm going to hold on to this Plow. And if they have Ragavan or Murktide Regent this turn, I am just not worried about DRC. Especially, like, I don't mind that they get an extra Surveil here if I get to make sure I can answer the important thing. If I find the land, which is what I'm really looking for, to start protecting my spells with Flusterstorm, we're going to have a good time. That might mean that I just cycle Shark for 1, but I can cycle Shark for 1 on future turns as well. Could just chump right now, save my Plow. That is actually a really good way to spend mana. I'm interested in that. I get another Island. Let's hope they don't have Gut Shot. That would be kind of a punish here. Found another Plow. Okay. Block the DRC. We're just about soaking up damage and hitting land drops here. That's the whole game. Oof. Brainstorm is fine. Found the land. Backup Hullbreacher. We like that. All of this is good. I think Days Undoing is the card that needs the most help here, but it's also the card that is the best. So we've got a little bit of tension in the hand here. This is actually a situation where I wish this wasn't a fetch land. That would be much better for me. I'm going to put back extra Force of Will and extra Hullbreacher. I'm going to try not to shuffle this turn. That's really not the plan. I'm going to let this damage come through. If they second main a Murktide Regent, that's what the Plow is for. Basic Mountain. Uh-oh, they're playing around my Blood Moon. Okay, end step. I can Plow the DRC now. Well out of Daze range. I don't think that's worth a Force of Will. Okay. Force of Will is the top card of my deck right now. Delver did not flip. Okay, right now, if I flash in this Hullbreacher, try to block Delver, what happens? Exposes me to Lightning Bolt. I have Flusterstorm for a Lightning Bolt. I have Force of Will to back up that. I do end up exposed to Daze with the Flusterstorm. I think I just take 1 here. Okay, now we Hullbreach. I am going to fetch first, though, in case they have any tricks. Get my Island. Let's breach some halls. They have 4 cards in their hand. I have 2 counter spells in mine. A Force of Willed. I think I should force back because if I Flusterstorm, then Daze is live. I'm going to go in on this first Hullbreacher by pitching the second. No, Daze Undoing is so much worse. Like, if I win this counter war, I'd rather have Daze Undoing. If I lose the counter war, I desperately need Hullbreacher because Daze Undoing sucks ass. Am I swinging all the way for the fences or just kind of for the fences? All right, let's go all the way for the fence. Okay, we did it. They just didn't have a second layer of protection there. Okay, Delver time. These Pyroblasts are coming in. Blood Moon's interesting. We saw a basic mountain out of them, which might lead us to believe there's also a basic island, but Blood Moon will still affect them significantly. Flusterstorm's good. Is this a Pyroclasm matchup? It kills Sleepy Dragon's Rage Channelers, any Delver, and any Ragavan, or any Ragavan in play. Doesn't affect Dashed Ragavan. I'm not sure this is what Pyroclasm is for. Force of Negation's definitely coming out. And Force of Will, normally, it is conventional wisdom to cut them versus Delver, but in a deck like this where I'm trying to resolve banger 3-drops, I don't hate it. Dress Down is kind of medium. I don't need all 4 forces. I am bringing in 4 1-mana counter spells to replace these 2-for-1 counter spells I'm cutting. I think I like all the Planeswalkers, all the Daze Undoings. Could probably get smaller on Daze Undoing, actually. That's a really bad card when you're not comboing, and Delver with their Pyroblast, Lightning Bolts, Dazes that are really good at stopping your 3-mana blue creature from comboing. Maybe I cut a Daze Undoing for a Pyroclasm, or for a Blood Moon. Tricky. I think Pyroclasm. I'm not really affecting their graveyard at all. This is, like, it's been a long time since I played a control deck without Endurance. Like, Pyroclasm, if I could nuke their graveyard somehow, gets a lot better, because you can control their Delirium, but that's not a thing I can do. I have Dress Down that can do that, but I don't think I leave that card in the deck just for that possibility. All right, this is what I'm doing. Let's play. I just think that Blood Moon on the draw is not even close to impactful enough. Not even sure it's impactful enough on the play. I generally don't like attacking Delver's mana, because they can play on so little of it. Handful of 3-drops. I think this is a mulligan. There we go. Swords of Plowshares, Ponder. I'm going to keep this in bottom Daze Undoing. That's the worst card in this hand, and it's not even close. Delver. Okay. And Island confirmed. All right, that was a great draw. That lets me fetch my basic Island this turn, and I still have a route to basic Mountain, and I still have the basic Plains in my hand. Oh, all the basics are here. Lets me ponder while the getting's good. Prismatic Ending, F yeah. And I think Snapcaster is probably better than Teferi if I end up shuffling away one of them. They revealed Lightning Bolt to Delver. Okay. The way my mana developed is a little awkward because there's no double spell. I have 3 1-mana spells in my hand and 2 mana, but can only cast one of them because I decided to ponder on turn 1, which I don't regret. Just saying, it's a thing. This is going to be a squeaky clean Prismatic Ending, though, on my turn. Play around Daze, and don't fetch, so I do end up with the Teferi in my hand, which I'm going to want eventually. That's the best tester of counterspells, because it's literally now or never. They're down to 3 cards in their hand. One of them's Lightning Bolt. If the other one is Force Blue card, are they really going to go Hellbent to protect a Delver? Okay, cool. I'm starting to work through this. Next turn, I can Swords to Plowshares and Red Blast, both playing around Daze. There's Force of Negation. And Dashed Raggy Daddy. Okay, that's going to take my Teferi, but they can't cast it, so it's not a huge deal. All right, Ragfather has connected. Take my Teferi, uncastable. Force of Negation, Lightning Bolt, Ragavan. We know all but 1 card in their hand right now. And I'm just going to pass into their turn. I'm not going to play into this Force of Negation if I can avoid it. There's Ragavan. I'll let them declare their attack. I'm going to Swords to Plowshares Ragavan. Then I'm going to Red Blast Delver. Playing off basic lands. Don't want to give them any wasteland value here if I don't have to. Okay, they have 4 cards in their hand. We know Lightning Bolt and Force are two of them. Lightning Bolt sometimes is good against Hullbreacher, but is bad against Snapcaster Mage and Shark Typhoon. I'm just going to hold up Snapcaster this turn if they deploy a creature, and if they don't deploy a creature, I'll cycle Shark Typhoon. Dragon's Rage Channeler. If I Snapcaster first, I guess I don't need to do that. Yeah, I think I just want to cycle Shark Typhoon here, because that's a 4-mana play when Snapcaster is a 3-mana play, and just drawing more cards is always nice. They're not delirious. If they bolt my Shark, that's a 2-for-1. That also clears the way for Hullbreacher. Hell yeah. That also spends the treasure. They milled over a wasteland. Okay, cool. That gives them delirium. Okay. Narset, huh? Force a negation over there. If I Hullbreacher or Snapcaster right now, they can't Force a negation Snapcaster, so I'd at least get that material, and I would get a 2-for-1 off of Force if they decide to force. Yeah, I'm going to Snapcaster right now. And I'm going to hold up red mana. This represent a red blast. Target Prismatic Ending. Swords to Plowshares is better. Okay, so I'm going to use the ending now while I'm in my main phase, attacking a 1-drop anyway. They want to pitch a Murktide Regent to save their Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm not mad about it. They literally pitched Murktide Regent. That'll show you. Okay. And we'll let Surveil happen. Now there's an important question. If they had Flusterstorm, they would have used that instead of force pitching Murktide Regent. I think they're out of counterspells. I can Force of Will here. Make sure that the pressure's off. Yeah, I think that's worth doing. And I'm going to chuck Hullbreacher to do it, because Narset can reload better than Hullbreacher can, while also constricting their draws. I think there's a good chance that Red Blast is the last card in their hand. They haven't played a spell. They haven't deployed a creature. They didn't slam Murktide Regent. I've been playing mostly around... Like, I haven't really played a blue spell in a situation where they could answer it. I feel like there's a Red Blast over there. But I'm also pretty sure Narset's the best thing going on here. So here's Narset. Show me the Red Blast. Oh wow, I was wrong. Maybe it's Lightning Bolt. Oh, Days Undoing, what's up? If I attack, they would need Wasteland and Ragavan to dash in, because I have the Caracas. I think the attack is good. If I didn't have Caracas, I'm not attacking there. Okay, Lightning Bolt was the correct read. This is what I'm talking about, though, with Days Undoing being a really bad card in this matchup. Like, I'm just not going to cast this card until I have something that goes with it. Okay, like that. Oh, yeah. We know that they drew a land for turn, because that land wasn't in play before this. Flusterstorm. Days Undoing. I could take Prismatic Ending or Pyro... I think I just want the Fluster. Let's just push the combo thing that our deck is built to do. We have 2 cards in hand. Oh, this is Murktide Regent for sure. All right, that's a little scary. I am almost DOB. I do get to Days Undoing, leaving up white and red. I can also Narset first, see if I find an answer to this thing. Okay, I like that plan. Swords to Plowshares. Plow your Murktide. Alright, yep, writing's on the wall. Killed their big idiot. I'm about to Mind Twist them and draw 7. And way ahead here. Awesome. This deck feels really good. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3. This is a nice, well-rounded handful of cards. I'm keeping it. Opponent mulled to 5. I'm always suspicious of that. The old unlucky or reanimator question. Reanimator. They're evoking Grief, pitching Exhume. And I can plow the Grief at least. There's another Tundra in the deck. They'll strip my Brainstorm here, but I am almost as worried about a just easy reanimated Grief putting me to Hellbent. They pitched Exhume for that, so yeah, they easily take Brainstorm there. Let's see if the hand also makes another jerk. There's Grizzlebrand. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty good multi 5. Oh, and they were on the draw, so one of these cards just came out of nowhere. Okay. They used every card in their hand, including the one they drew randomly off the top, to disrupt me and cast Grizzlebrand all at once. Pretty good stuff. Let's draw Caracas. He's Undoing. Discarded a pile of Chancellors. I am not really getting another turn, that's for sure. I could Prismatic Ending their Lotus Petal in a futile attempt at doing anything, so I will. Oh, they're just going to Entomb in response. That doesn't even make sense. All right. Guess we got to play this out. Technically still drawing to outs. Days Undoing doubles his graveyard hate, by the way. Shuffling your graveyard, or some of the words on that card. They're going back to 1 with Grizzlebrand. Relentless Hunger for cards. Dark Ritual. Knowing if they're a Storm variant or if they're just comboing, or if they're just reanimating, like that's worth a lot. They could probably put 2 or 3 Chancellors into play here, which is going to be plenty because they just can't resolve any spells. An important rules thing here. Chancellor of the Annex says if they cast a spell, counter it unless they pay 1, which is different than spells cost 1 more. If, all right, I'm just going to concede here. If this was like Thalia, I could exile and animate dead for 3 mana with Prismatic Ending. But because it's a separate, unrelated trigger, like the trigger is not part of the cost, it's a cost of that ability, not a cost of the spell, then I would have to pay 3 up front plus 2 for the Chancellors, rather than paying 1, then 2 for the taxing. I hope that made any sense. I don't think I articulated it well. But that didn't work the way I wanted it to, is what I'm trying to spit out. Warp Orb, Nullrod, Grafdigger's Cage is definitely in. Nullrod, probably not interested in that. They have the Lotus Petals, but on turn 2, I think it's too late. Blood Moon, Pyroclast, and Red Blast Meltdown, that's not what I want. Yeah, just 5 pieces of cheap interaction here. I don't hate Dress Down. I kind of do hate Prismatic Ending. I just pointed out that it can get an Animate dead, but normally it's too late, like we saw there. I just have better tools to do the similar thing. I'm going to shave a Days Undoing because I don't really need to combo them. I just need to be alive. Okay, I'm going to cut a Plow. While Plow does have text in the matchup, it's not really where I want to be, because that indicates that they've already deployed a creature. And I would also like to point out that I got antsy on my Plow in game 1, and I could have plowed their Grizzlebrand if I just let the grief resolve. They take Brainstorm, and then I plow the Grizzlebrand. I could have done better there. They impressed me on their perfect 6 cards. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. There's a lot of free counter spells in this deck. 7 of them in a 60-card deck, plus the 2 Surgicals. I have 9 ways to interact on turn 0. And I found one. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand could definitely get run over, but I'm not going to mulligan something that looks like this. Hope they don't have Chancellor, because I would really like to ponder for some additional support here. Okay, no Chancellor is good news. They get to ponder. Finding Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. Land on the bottom, Cage on top, Hullbreacher. Do not shuffle this library. I'm hiding the Grafdigger's Cage from discard spells and just hoping that Force of Negation helps me get into turn 2. Okay, here's Grief. Pitching Animate dead. Can't counter this one. Took the Force, of course. Because what would we do without Force, of course. Okay. And then we're going to get Grizzlebrand on turn 1 again. Yes, we'll see how far this adventure goes, though. Like, if they Grizzlebrand into multiple other discard spells and I also lose the Plow, then I'm in trouble. Okay, they can only Grizzle once. Still have black floating. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. They could reanimate Grief for 1 mana. Unmask is really good. I hope they take Ponder. Nope, no chance. Why would they do that? Doesn't even make sense. Okay. I am going to fetch for Tundra and then cast Ponder. I want this Ponder to see as many cards as it can possibly see, and I know there's a mountain on top of my deck right now, so I'm doing the shuffle first. We're shuffling this one. Press down, okay. Well, here's Grafdigger's Cage. Hopefully that can slow down future BS. And then maybe I can catch Grizzlebrand in a Hullbreacher situation, but they've seen the Hullbreacher, so it's unlikely they're just going to ram into it. Still tapping mana. Still drawing 7. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. Faithless Looting. So Teferi, Swords to Plowshares, Karakas, all good draws here. I'm not drawing dead right now. Not even close, actually. Drawing very live. Snapcaster Mage. Grafdigger's Cage. Fuck my life. Okay, I can Hullbreach now to make sure Grizzlebrand doesn't draw any more cards. I think that's the play. I mean, I could use Dress Down to cantrip. Maybe that's better. But if I Hullbreach, that makes Days Undoing a draw. Okay. I'm just going to Hullbreacher right now before they can do anything in response. They're going to attack me for 5 lifelink. Or 7 lifelink. Put me to 5 with lifelink is what I was trying to spit out there. Alright, now I have Draw Step plus Dress Down trigger to find an answer to Grizzlebrand. Okay. I can actually Dress Down and block. That does work. Alright, attack for 3. I don't think they have any flash creatures or way to untap their shit. Okay, so I'm going to Dress Down and then block with Snapcaster Mage. Unless I draw Swords to Plowshares, then I'll just cast that. Okay, Dress Down first. I think I also want to fetch before this resolves. Maximize my chances of hitting a plow. Did not hit a plow. Here's Snapcaster Mage to block. Real shame about that Grafdigger's Cage. Important to note that Hullbreacher is sleeping right now, so if they have Faithless Looting, they can sneak it in on me here. Okay, deck, now's the time. There's so many good draws. Let's knock that Faithless Looting in on me. I'm immune to discard right now because my hand is just a land. The classic, my hand sucks, therefore I'm untouchable. Teferi is good, Plow is good, Karakas is good, Narset is good, anything that cantrips into any of those things is good. Spent an Unmasked to look at my Volcanic Island. They were about to flashback Faithless Looting, and then remembered that Grafdigger's Cage exists. Okay, deck, now's the time. Come on now. Hook it up, hook it up. Fuck. Alright, we're dead. Damn it. We made a run out of it. Considering we got discarded and they had turn 1 Grizzlebrand, the fact that we were still drawing live on turn 5 is a pretty big deal. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round 4, and we have a hand that I'm about to keep for science. There's no interaction in it. This is... If this deck has a flaw, it's that it's full of 3-drops. And this is a handful of 3-drops with 3 mana. Let's see if it works. Glasspool Mimic as a land. I expect that we're playing against Merfolk. I don't know. I just feel like Merfolk is more likely to have Glasspool Mimic in it as a card than Oops All Spells is to have something like this in it as a land. Told ya. Okay, there's Silvergill Adept. Revealing Lord of Atlantis. This is where the 7 Swords to Plowshares need to show up. Okay, we found one. I'm going to play around Days by saving my Brainstorm. They could also have Hullbreacher in their deck, by the way. Totally a Merfolk. Like, the nasty juke here would be if they're, like, second main True Name Nemesis. Like, LOL. It's Valen of the Sea and Sky. This has, like, Ward 1. Or other Merfolk have Ward 1. Okay, this is an easy plow. And then I can Brainstorm now. Or I can cast this Hullbreacher next turn. Just move towards the end game. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Hullbreach and then see what happens. There's Lord of Atlantis. Maybe Brainstorm for removal is better. They have so many cards in their hand. If their cards aren't good, I win. If they have Days, I'm probably dead. Whatever, here's Hullbreacher. Alright, that just resolved. Force of Will would be great. Okay, I can slam Days Undoing and just see what happens. I could Brainstorm looking for answers. I could Narset. I think Narset's the worst of the options. All right, swing for the fences. Let's go. Oh god, this card just resolved. All right, I'm still kind of under the gun here. I didn't draw any white spells. I can block Lord of Atlantis if it attacks, so they don't have that attack. I will definitely trade off with Lord of Atlantis. Or I have another Days Undoing in my hand. Does that even make sense? I probably should have brainstormed before I started making decisions. Like, I could just dump out my hand and then Days Undoing again if I take 5 here. Okay, no blocks. Let's do this thing. Sapper's Scary, my god. What are they up to? I don't think I need to brainstorm here. I have enough mana that I can make it happen on my turn. Okay, cool. First, brainstorm. Put back these lands. Then, Swords to Plowshares. Kill that. Then, crack a fetch land. Or island. And then, cast Narset. And then attack for 3. And then cast Days Undoing. I don't really need to ponder here. I guess if ponder finds Swords to Plowshares, that's pretty good. All right. I'll try finding an answer. Okay. That's even better. All right. Prismatic Ending. White. Green for style points. Exile your creature. Days Undoing. Let's go. Not activating Narset here because I'm going to lose the card anyway. And we're back. Oh, these wheels are spinning. I'm not sure how we lose the game at this point. Opponent agrees. On to the next one. Okay. Pyroclasm and Red Blast all looking pretty hot right now. They did have a weird amount of non-basics for a mono blue deck with Sapper's Scary and the Glasspool Mimic. I presume Mutavault is in this deck. Blood Moon is in the maybe pile. Probably not, but maybe. I kind of expect Chalice of the Void out of them due to, like, Sapper's Scary. Why would you play that card if you're not trying to cheese out on mana? I don't know. But Force of Negation is coming out for sure. Flusterstorm, not great. Force of Will also. Like, they're just a deck full of Cavern of Souls. And I'm pretty good at fighting them on board. I have a lot of removal. And then the Pyroblasts are also counterspells if they don't have Cavern. I have Prismatic Ending into Fairy that can deal with Chalice if they're a Chalice deck. Dress Down can remove Island Walk. Yeah, I think I like where I am with this deck right now. Okay, let's do it. Okay, this hand is light on lands. Merfolk may or may not have Days, may or may not have Wasteland, may or may not have Rashaden Port. There's a bunch of different ways to build this deck, and my opponent is in some sort of weird zone with cards I've never seen in Merfolk. I'm gonna mulligan this, actually. Okay. A straight line into Pyroclasm is pretty exciting. I'm gonna ship the Days Undoing. We got to straight line combo in game 1, but that's because we didn't know what they were doing, and we didn't know any better. I don't think that's going to be the plan again. This is a little tricky. Right, I guess I have to play out the blue source. And my only blue source also being my only red source is unfortunate, but that's what happens when you put Prismatic Vista in your deck. Adept, Revealing Master. Okay. Pyroclasm still sweeps up all of that. Okay. That's a good Swords to Plowshares to find. Every Swords to Plowshares is a good Swords to Plowshares, let's be serious. Vial went up to 2. Activating Vial. Another Adept draws another card. Phantasmal Image. Okay, that's going to draw another card. Yeah, this is a really cool line they've taken. And Vial. Okay. I think I want to end step Brainstorm. Oh, that seems so medium all the time. If I miss on a fetch land, I'm in a lot of trouble. I could Brainstorm on my own turn and still hit the land. Okay, I'm going to do it that way. I don't think I can fetch for my mountain here, because then my hand just falls apart. All right, Brainstorm, do your job, buddy. I need you here. Don't betray me. I was kind of betrayed. I can plow and snap plow over the next couple turns, so we're not really, like, dead. It's just not really where I want to be. And I need them to not be a wasteland deck after all. Another cavern. Okay. The cards are extra uncounterable. There's Master. Okay, I'm going to plow Master. See if they can copy it. Nope. All right. Taking 6 here. Oh, nope. There's another one. Okay. Lord of Atlantis is here. I can snap plow now when they only have 1 card in their hand, or I could snap plow next turn where I might be able to ambush in combat. I'm doing it now. Don't be a fool. Plow the Lord. This also removes it before they can Phantasmal Image in response. All right, now we're in the spot where if they have nothing, I can stabilize. If they have anything, I'm dead. Okay, block one of these. Go to 4. Hope their 2 cards in hand are literally nothing. Teferi doesn't work here. I'm going to snap Brainstorm right now. If I hit the red source, I can still kill things. If they can't hardcast Force of Will here, they're a mana short of that. Filing in something. Is it Hullbreacher? It's Valen. Okay. Brainstorm. Valen is indestructible and the Merfolk have Ward 1. Okay, they are at critical mass where I can't win now. Okay, I did find the red source, but other Merfolk have Ward 1, so I can't remove the indestructibility and I can't destroy it because it's indestructible. Okay. Perfect. And I'm at 4, so I can't like chump for a turn and break it up next turn. Okay, just that game came down to not having red mana when I needed it. It's kind of an awkward start. No worries though. Okay, serious question. Do I want Blood Moon? I don't want Null Rod. That's not what this is about. Meltdown could sweep up Vials and if they have Chalice of the Void. But we're starting to get into this weird world where I'm becoming some goofy prison deck instead of a hyper efficient control deck. Yeah, I'm just going in with the same deck. Let's do this. Swords of Plowshares, all my colors, Brainstorms, let's go. And I'm going to lead on Flooded Strand. This lets me plow if I need to, or Brainstorm if they have turn 1 Chalice. They didn't Chalice. That's good. Oh yeah. I'm going to play the island so I can Brainstorm with a fetch up. I have my colors to do, you know, whatever with all the other spells that I have. Adept, Revealing, Lord of Atlantis. There's that again. I'm going to Brainstorm here. Prismatic Ending, not bad. Basic Plains I can fetch for. I think I actually want to leave one of these lands on top, just to make sure I'm set up on lands forever, and then I can shuffle away the other land. Or fetch the other land, as the case may be. And I am just going to start aggressively removing their permanents from play. If they have Aether Vial or Chalice of the Void, I'm going to strongly regret Prismatic Ending there. Let's just hope that's not what happens. There's the Lord. Oh, Teferi. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to get Tundra just to cast my spells. Haven't seen a Wasteland yet. Doesn't mean they don't have one, but I'm willing to play towards it. Force of Negation, pitching Flusterstorm. I'm going to Red Blast this. I'm going to get the basic mountain, though. That one is really important. Okay, Teferi resolved. Big game. Okay. Hullbreacher is present now, and Teferi's around. I don't think they have any haste creatures. I've played around back to basics. All right, yeah, they're just dumping out, hoping it works. Plus, and can pass a turn here. I can cast all these spells as instants due to Teferi. I can figure out how many answers I need and to what in combat. Adept, Revealing Lord. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to... Oh, I should have Hull Breached that Adept. I was just not even paying attention. Okay. I'm going to Ponder in response to this one. Force of Will, Teferi. Yeah, that's not it. Shuffle these. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, I can plow, snap, plow now. And we're good. And I'm going to mitigate the life loss by doing it now before the Lord's in play. I can even snap Red Blast. That's better. That gives them no life. Pyroblast, targeting the master that's already in play, not the uncounterable one on the stack. I guess I should have done this in combat. Yeah, I should have let this resolve, let them attack, kill this one, and then block the other. Multiple mistakes made that turn. Hopefully we're far enough ahead that it doesn't matter, and I feel like we probably are. Not that I deserve it, but here we are. Land Dress Down. I don't really need Brainstorm this turn. Or Dress Down. This Dress Down might actually be really good. I'm actually going to tuck them away like so. Dress Down on top, Brainstorm under it. I can kill Lord of Atlantis. Just need them not to have a third one. Okay, Svalin's fine. I can afford the ward cost here. Plow, Master, or Lord. Pay the ward cost. Block the Merfolk, and Svalin. Hullbreacher can chew up those extra cards. Don't think drawing a card is optional. No, when it attacks, draw a card. And I can Brainstorm. I could just bounce Svalin. Then I lose Teferi, but how important is Teferi right now, actually? My guess is not very. They have one card left in their hand. If it turns out to be a Hullbreacher, you got me. But in the meantime, let's bash. I'm going to Brainstorm now. Yeah, Narset, Force of Will, this is all good stuff. Prismatic Ending. Force of Will actually sucks. And then I'll put Dress Down second from the top. And it's Narset time. I know there's at least Dress Down in the pile here. And I'm going to grab this Day's Undoing. I think that'll do better than Pyroblast. 2 cards in hand, one of them's Svalin, which I can remove. They can cast a counterspell right now. I'm going to have a look with Narset, see if I can protect my thing. I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, yep. First Teferi. Merfolk Trickster. Okay. That was clever. All right, so glad I didn't move in. Got to start somewhere. Then Teferi can bounce Svalin, and then I can Prismatic Ending Trickster, or the other way around. Oh wait, no, with Ward, it can't go the other way around. Oh, I would have to Ending first. Yeah, that's the play. Okay. White. Nope. Need blue from that one. Blue, red, white. Exile Svalin, and then I can bounce Trickster, which I don't care about once Teferi's in play. And we are set up for next turn. Svalin's back, okay. And Trickster's back. You got me. I think I'm supposed to do this on their turn. Oh, maybe not. Does it matter? So that's the real question. Okay, I'm going to Swords to Plowshares Svalin. And then I can Teferi rebounce and then refire Days Undoing. Oh, no, I can't. I'm a mana short of doing that. All right. What happens if I do it on their turn versus my turn? Does that matter at all? If I do it in their draw step. Oh, but then Narset and Hullbreacher are competing for don't draw a card and draw a card, it's a treasure. And I think they get to decide which one actually happens. All right, we're just going to undo the day. Hope to find one of my many 1-mana removal spells. I did. We're good. Here's the moment of truth for my opponent. They're like, did he draw a removal spell? I did. Several of them, in fact. Yeah, I'm really impressed how quickly the Days Undoing thing comes together in this build of this deck. This is definitely the best Days Undoing deck I've played, and I've played a lot of them on this channel. Powerful stuff. On to the final round. I'm on the draw in the final round against a Yorion strategy. Could be Zenith, could be Death and Taxes. This hand is like Deece against Zenith and terrible against Death and Taxes. Though I guess Teferi and Narset are pretty good, and I have a Brainstorm. I'm going to keep. Let's go. The Flusterstorm is just a giant blank against Death and Taxes, which is my concern here, but Brainstorm can fix it. Alright, Aether Vial confirmed. Drawing the second land here is really nice. That lets me get rid of this Volcanic Island. This is just a basic island that can be wastelanded in this matchup. And you can get up to 3 on Prismatic Ending, but that's really all it does. It's pretty bad to have in your hand. Alright, what hateful asshole is coming into play? Is it Thalia? Is it Spirit? It's Thalia. Okay, I'm going to brainstorm in response. The storm. I'm going to have to keep one of these cards. Oh, okay, I could pitch Fluster to Force right now and ignore Thalia for a minute. I've seen worse options than that in my life. All right, I'm going to do that. I was about to shuffle away Flusterstorm, but this works too. My handful of 3-drops doesn't really want Thalia around. That's for sure. The top card of my deck is also a land. If they deploy some Thalia type jerk this turn, I can keep the land on top. I'll probably just keep the land on top anyway. This Vial is starting to get scary. It's on the Spirit of the Labyrinth phase now. Okay, Rishadan Port qualifies as a Thalia type jerk for purposes of keeping the land on top. So I'm going to keep the land on top. Oh wow, they didn't activate their port. Not interested? Alright, I'll punish it. Alright, giving my opponent benefit of the doubt. Why wouldn't they activate port here? Is there a creature with flash they're going to get me with? I mean, I know that I can see the Aether Vial. I see it over there. Don't worry. I know about it. I can play Teferi, try to reset the Vial. Anything that Violin off Teferi will kill Teferi, which is a problem. I could play Narset, which doesn't answer the board, but does guarantee some card advantage this turn. I think I like Teferi better. Bounce the Aether Vial. If they put in Spirit of the Labyrinth, I don't get to draw a card off Teferi, but the Vial's gone either way. Wow, that just went away? I don't know what's going on right now. Didn't activate their Vial. Didn't activate their Rishadan Port. I think they may have just clicked through my upkeep, and now they're in the tilt zone. This mana unspent, lands unused. That was a tough turn cycle for them. Skyclave Apparition, okay. That's already done its job. And they Lotus Petaled out a Caracas to make this happen. Deal. There's Vial. I've got options this turn. Another white source would be great. Swords to Plowshares. I want to I guess I don't need to remove Vial quickly here. I can Narset and hold up Plow. Yeah, I want to Narset and hold up white mana. I'd like to find my other planes pretty quickly here. They do have Rishadan Port. They can keep me off white. Okay. The third Narset, just what we were looking for. I think plowing Skyclave Apparition and getting a 3/3 is better than answering the Vial when they didn't have a 1-drop the first time around. I'm going to plow the Apparition in combat, which means that a Flicker Wisp can kill my token after combat, but that's not the sexiest use of Flicker Wisp, and I'm fine with it. In the meantime, let's enjoy having this 3/3 creature. Okay, they have Wasteland and Rishadan Port. They can do some damage on my mana base here. If I don't find a white source in my draw step, or Narset finds a cantrip to dig for one, then I could actually be in some trouble here. Yeah, they're just taking out the white, as you should. Okay, that can get Tundra, which I don't really want to do. There is a second basic plains in this deck. Wow, that's a lot of white cards. Okay. I guess I'll start with Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, is what it is. Alright. Fetch a Tundra. Prismatic Ending, the Vial. And I'll know right away if they have a 1-drop or not. Okay, they don't. Don't think this deck has haste creatures for less than 7 mana. Oh, in for 3 we come. Swords to Plowshares, that's a deal. Okay, I have more permanents in play, more cards in hand. Alright, they found another port. They can keep me off white. I do need to draw a mana source to get the Teferi or second Narset into play, keep this train rolling. Yeah, we are sort of just looking at each other now. I'm glad I answered the Aether Vial. That's the way they could break this tenuous parity. And the way I break this tenuous parity is by Jack's notes, drawing a land. Yep, porting me off white. Hey! Not the most helpful, but I mean, I'm not going to complain about keeping my card advantage rolling right now. Force Negation, Shark Typhoon, Ponder, Force of Will, Shark Typhoon, baby. This one can disrespect the Rishadan Port, just bully the ports a little bit. I can make a 3/3 in my upkeep after they commit 2 mana to porting me. Casting Shadow Spear. Their last card isn't a land right now. Okay, spending time to get Yorion. All right. I respect that. That does leave the door wide open for me to slam a bunch of Planeswalkers or to Narset my way into a Day's Undoing. Let's go. Prismatic Ending. Ending is better than Teferi. I have enough Teferis already. I'll take Prismatic Ending, and then I'm going to Ponder. I'd like to hit my land drop, especially if I can find that white basic. Didn't find the white basic. Ooh, Day's Undoing's here. And Hullbreacher's under it. Okay. We can make this happen. Okay. Draw my land. Play Teferi. Teferi can bounce Shadow Spear, I guess. I could also just exile Shadow Spear, but I don't really care. Okay, they've just seen enough. They're not going to make me figure it out. Nice. Into the sideboard. Meltdown, Torpor Orb, Null Rod, Pyroclasm. I believe these are the hits. Blood Moon might seem weird against a mono white deck, but they do play Karakas, Wasteland, Rashad Port, Urza Saga. There's a lot of non-basics in that deck. And for a mono white deck, Death and Taxes actually has pretty bad mana. That might not be true in the Yorion builds anymore. I'm actually not sure. They play a ton of planes now. But historically, I know Phil Gallagher of Thraben U is really big on playing more planes than most people and fewer Karakas, and there's just a lot to... the Death and Taxes mana base tends to get greedy. I'm going to go down to 2 Force of Will. Force of Negations are out. Flusterstorm's out. I now have all my removal and artifact hate in. Do I have room for 2 Blood Moons? What does that look like, if so? This is a deck that, other than plowing Hullbreacher, can't really interact with a Day's Undoing. Oh, that's not even true. They have Spirit of the Labyrinth, which can challenge my Day's Undoing. I think I do want 1 Blood Moon in here just to draw 2 if the game gets grindy, really shut down their BS. And otherwise, the rest of these cards look good to me. I'm in. 1 seems like the right number of Blood Moon. It's either 1 or 0. I wouldn't bring in 2. This hand is not a keep. This hand is a keep. I don't like all these Day's Undoings. Good thing I can put 1 on the bottom and pitch the other to force. Mother of Runes. Oh, I don't want to force this, but I probably have to. No, I don't. Fuck it. I'll force the next thing. Okay, I am likely... This is my route to basic planes, the Vista, so I'm gonna play my route to basic island first, in case I end up brainstorming this turn. There's Saga. I was right about that. Which isn't really applause-worthy or anything. It just, that's how Yorion Taxes is constructed these days. Thalia, okay. I will force pitching Day's Undoing on that one. Thalia with Mother of Runes back up in my 3-drop tribal deck. Don't love it. Okay, now I have a route to my basic island, my basic plains, and my basic mountain. I'm going to play Flooded Strand here. And I don't think... I guess I could brainstorm into Ponder. I'm just going to hold on my brainstorm, though. I don't really know what I need yet. Like, I have my next land drop lined up. Cycling Shark Typhoon next turn advances my board, draws a card. Answering this Urza Saga would be nice. Well, they're just surgical extracting my fucking Force of Will. I recently went on a rant about bad surgical extractions, and this is one of them. Okay, Resolves, go nuts. There's only one of those in my deck. It's not in my hand. If I needed a free shuffle off Brainstorm, I would have just got one. How about this Snapcaster Mage in my hand that now doesn't have to worry about surgical extraction? Like, why even do that? Are you untapping and casting something completely unbeatable? I'm not trying to rag on my opponent here. I'm trying to just really drive the point home to my viewers. Those of you watching trying to learn about Legacy. Also forgot to take the one out of the graveyard. Okay. Not that it matters, but on Magic Online, you do have to actually click the one in the graveyard too to get rid of it. So here's the deal. If they have some unbeatable 3-drop, like something that if I don't counter, I lose the game, then I like the surgical just to make sure that that happens. But if you're not doing that this turn, then you just discarded a card for no reason. Like, imagine the horror of surgical extracting a Force of Will, a card that there's only 2 copies in my deck and I've already used one of them. There's none in my hand. And then seeing Snapcaster Mage, a card that actually uses the graveyard for fun and profit. I don't know. They just discarded a card and I'm pretty happy about it, is what I'm trying to say. They got to look at my hand and deck. They basically cast Gataxian Probe without drawing a card. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. I can't get up to Dress Down here, so there's no reason to Brainstorm. Though they are going to Cauldra with Mom back up here. So I got to start figuring out how to work my way through this. Plow, Snap, Plow. It is enough to power through a Mother of Runes over the course of a turn cycle. If I draw like Pyroclasm, they would have to decide to save the Stoneforge Mystic or the Mother, which is a nice position to put them in. Also developing Stoneforge here is giving up on Urza Saga. Pithing Needle, okay. Well, they know about Shark Typhoon, they know about Prismatic Vista. I have to crack my fetch lands here. I can't actually afford to get cheese wastelanded, like the Pithing Needle wasteland trick. Okay, so they did have a pretty high impact spell, and they have a card that gets better if you know it's in my hand for Surgical. So the Surgical wasn't a complete spew. I still don't like the play, but I mean, it's a thing. Okay. I suspect they're going to name Shark Typhoon. I'm going to put Tundra and Shark Typhoon on top of my deck. Yeah, there's like no universe where I'm going to cast this Shark Typhoon anytime ever. All right, I'm going to put back Tundra, and then I'm going to fetch another basic island. Now that I drew Plains, I just want my blue set up. I still can't really afford to play into Wasteland here. Let's see if they name Shark Typhoon or they name Prismatic Vista. Those are the 2 plays here. Did they get me or did I get them? Who's on what level? They named Narset. Okay, a card that is not present in my hand that they just looked at. Okay, deal. Meltdown. Don't hate that. I think I just want to snap Brainstorm right now. Yeah, I'm just going to Snapcaster Brainstorm now before this Urza Saga can get Soul Guide Lantern or whatever. Teferi, Prismatic Ending, these are all good cards. I think I want... No, Teferi is actually kind of medium here. I'll put Teferi and Island on top. Alright, yeah, I'll draw the land next turn, and then... Teferi is just not great against Mother of Runes. If I want to give up my red mana, I can snap ending Mother of Runes next turn. Okay, they're just putting in Batterskull. This is a Cauldra situation, by the way. Like, you have Mother of Runes, you just saw my hand, there's no answer. I would have to draw 2 answers on the same turn cycle before I could answer a Cauldra. This is the situation you put the pedal to the metal. But they chose to get Batterskull instead. Another Saga, okay. I guess Teferi bouncing Batterskull is pretty sick. Maybe I should have put Teferi on top for that. Because they can protect the germ, they can't protect the weapon. Do I want to give up on Teferi and give up on red mana? I don't think I want to do either of those things. I could Prismatic Ending the Shadow Spear right now. Yeah, I don't hate that. There's no Narset in my near future, so they can have their Pithing Needle. That's going to get swept down in the Meltdown a few turns from now anyway. I'm not in a hurry to cast Meltdown now. Like, Shadow Spear actually does represent a ton of trample damage between now and when I'm planning on melting down. I want to melt down after this Urza Saga has run its course. Just sweep up these constructs and whatever poops out at the end. There's probably a 3 or 4 for 1 in my near future, if I can be patient. I'm not going to block that. I have life points to spare. Caracas, okay. They have 1 card left. Bouncing Batterskull is actually sick here, because then they have to decide if they want to advance their Urza Saga with constructs or redeploy Batterskull. They don't have enough mana for both. Or they can just cast Flicker Wisp right now, apparently. Okay. Alright. That's pretty cool, I guess. So they are probably going to pivot onto the Cauldron now. Oh, Mizawa's Jete, sure. That gets melted down with the best of them. I'm going to play Vista, play Teferi. Bounce Batterskull. the permanent. The fairy's going to die immediately to combat, but I'm really okay with that. He took a bunch of damage off, cantripped on the way through. That's a positive interaction. Oh, and I drew prismatic ending. Nice. I'm not going to try to end anything right now. I don't need to. Meltdown's going to be brutal next turn. I could even... Oh no, Teferi's going to die. I was about to say I could even cast Meltdown as an instant, but that's not even true. Okay, are we going to see the second Urza Saga go to the graveyard without a single construct being made between them? Or what's going on here? Like, they could use this mana to activate Stoneforge Mystic and then equip Jete, attack Teferi, Jete away my Snapcaster. Okay, they've decided to make a construct. I did not fetch in response. I hope they don't have a second Pithing Needle. They don't. Okay, good. The pretty easy ping of Teferi, the Flicker Wisp. Oh wow, they're attacking me with Stoneforge Mystic? Block. They're just desperate to tap their Mother of Runes. I don't know what that was about. Weird. Take it though. Caracas. I can snap ending here and clear the Mother. Ending, 1, 2, 3, and then I can still melt down for X's 1, or I could wait a turn. Okay. I'm gonna prismatic ending Mother of Runes. Oh wait, nope, that's not how that works, because it's still gonna pro white later. Almost fucked that up. Those of you who have been yelling at me in the chat this whole time that I've been laying out that line. Okay, I can ending Flicker Wisp and then flash on Mother of Runes. That's the play. Okay. Figured it out. Like, Flicker Wisp is the scariest permanent in play right now. Well, other than Mother of Runes. Okay, 3 different colors. Prismatic ending Flicker Wisp. Okay, the pro white bait has been taken. Spell does not resolve. Snapcaster Mage. Target prismatic ending. Bet they wish they had a surgical extraction in their hand right now. Exile your Mother. Okay. I'm gonna chump block with Snapcaster Mage this turn. Preserving my life total is going to be important. And the Jete can kill Snapcaster post-combat anyway, so I'm not even like protecting a resource. I just have to answer Flicker Wisp in the next 4 turns. The rest of this board is pretty well under control. I just hope they cast the Jete this turn. I really want it swept up in the Meltdown with everything else. Shit. Alright. By process of elimination, I think they're going to end up with the thing they should have got first. Yeah, alright, here's Cauldra. Better late than never. Okay, now I need to actually draw well, because they have stumbled backwards into the correct place. Alright, cool. Swords of Plowshares is a nice one. Do I plow the Stoneforge Mystic now and strand the Cauldra? Or do I plow the Cauldra and let them have Stoneforge Mystic? I think I have to melt down here for X's 1. A little worried about this Jete. The way that their draw played out here. The Jete could actually kill me really quickly if I can't answer Flicker Wisp. And they drew the land now to play an equipped Jete, of course. Okay. Now I'm going to have to top deck another answer. Okay, deck. Help me out here. Dress down. That turns off flying, but not anything else. Okay, I'm going to dress down tapping my Caracas to do it. I'm going to do it right now. I have a lot of sorcery speed answers here that I could find. Hullbreacher's not one of them. Okay. We've lost. Or there's one chance. There's one chance. I could flash in Hullbreacher and they could just... They could like plow it or -2 the Jete on it or something stupid. I think tricking them into killing my Hullbreacher is worth more than like making them respect plow. Though maybe they wouldn't have put the pedal to the metal and just attack for 7 if I had mana up. Okay, they have Skyclave Apparition. Alright, they had clean answers anyway. That might have been the worst played game that I've ever lost. That was a tough one. I suspect maybe this opponent wouldn't have gone for it. Maybe I should have held back on the Hullbreacher rather than trying to trick them into the onboard wrong play. I could have at least bluffed a correct play. Okay, game 3. I don't think anything about my plan changes. It's just better on the play. Blood Moon is better on the play than it is on the draw, but I still don't think I want 2 of that. My fetch lands are pretty important in my plan.
Okay, handful of potent, all of the cards that I want, but no lands. Mulligan this. All right, 2 lands and a bunch of the cards I want. This one's better. Keep this and Shark Typhoon to the bottom. That's a later type of card. And I'm going to ponder on turn 1 with Basic Island. Get my basic set up here. Shuffle away this pile of 3-drops. I'm just looking for my 3rd land here. Motobug. Drew the Hullbreacher anyway. Classic. Ooh, no 1-drop. Weird. Oh, that's a good one. That's among the best cards that there is against this deck in all of Magic the Gathering. Torpor Orb, good luck. They could just spew out Solitudes right now. Like, Solitude doesn't exile a thing, but it doesn't die either. They could have just, like, pitch cast 2 Solitudes and started attacking. If they port me, I think I want to dress down here. Yeah, I just want to draw a land, hit land drops here. Missed on the first land drop, and woof. Okay. Well, they're stuck under Torpor Orb. I'm stuck under mana. But if they're porting me, then they're not developing their board. I think I'm still ahead here. It'll depend on how long I go without hitting this land drop. Okay, now I have the option of slamming Snapcaster Mage just as like a permanent, and I think I'm going to do that. Put some damage on them, make them respect the board, and stop just sitting back and porting me. Snapcaster Mage doesn't work with Torpor Orb in play anyway. Okay, and we had a 8 of Swords to Plowshares off it. Not a bad deal. They're hitting land drops, which is bad for me. If I don't dig out of this quickly, I'm actually in a lot of trouble. And, okay, we're in there. Okay, now I can at least flash in Hullbreacher. I would have preferred that to be blue so I could get my Ponder off the ground, but I'm not going to be greedy. Wasteland doesn't work. Well, it doesn't have a target currently. It does work. Spirit of the Lab, okay. Nobody draws. I could also just chill and sweep that up in a Pyroclasm, but let's develop the board. I feel like Pyroclasm's gonna bust this game open at some point. All right, another plow. You got it. Lands? Lands. Days Undoing. Okay. If I can wiggle my way into Days Undoing, and I have removal for this Spirit, so this lack of lands has been pretty tough. I have said many times the only way Blue-White beats Azorius or the only way Death and Taxes beats Azorius control is if you stumble on lands or they control your lands, and that's currently what's going on. Flicker Wisp, just raw naked Flicker Wisp. The best kind of Flicker Wisp. I'm gonna Pyroclasm this turn if they don't tap my red. Is that true? Yeah, I think it's true. Ooh, Swords of Plowshares is good. Yeah, this looks like a good time to Pyroclasm. Let's just clear this out. I'm pretty worried about this Urza Saga that's now doing work. I have Plow and Ending that can work through it, but I really don't want to be playing that game. They appear to be trying to make a construct before their land has that ability right now. Okay, continue. All right, now they have a construct. Interesting to do it now. Mother, okay. I'm going to, I think this, I'm going to remove Mother. Okay, does that make it easier or harder? I think easier. A Prismatic Ending on that. The Prismatic Ending can also hit Shadow Spear or Aether Vial, but Plow's an instant. Yeah, I'm going to Ending the Mother. So it's turn 8. We've been playing this whole game on 2 lands, and it's still, like, pretty close. One land, especially if it's blue, really cracks this open. Now I have to work through these constructs. Let's see if they get Aether Vial or Shadow Spear or what the play is here. Retrofitter, okay. That's going to bury me very quickly. In for 3. Do they want to make it 4? Or do they want to keep porting me? Okay. If they port me, they can't make a construct. All right, I'm getting Hullbreacher in. I have the Days Undoing. If I find land, we're just doing stuff. Come on, deck. Land. Land, you fucker. Okay, I found a land. I'm gonna Ponder. Yeah, this is worth doing. Ponder. And another land. Cool. Alright, Snapcaster sucks. Fairy's not great either, but at least I am playing the game now. They're probably going to pivot onto porting white. Oh god. Oh, Solitude doesn't work. That's fine. I mean, it's a 3/2 creature, but so they can attack for 8, 9, 10, 11 this turn on board that I can see right now. This is going to be a close one. Luckily, if they port white, I've saved my Swords to Plowshares, so I do have a plow. Oh, you fucker. Come on. All right. Well, they had their third Swords to Plowshares in their 80 card deck. All right. That actually was devastating and might end the game. I really needed that to work. Okay. I am going to lose this game. Because I could just Days Undoing for the draw 7. I could Swords to Plowshares, Days Undoing. Giving them 7 isn't exciting, but I'm already losing. My top card is not a white land, so let's see. 3, 4. Oh, if I bounce this, it'll be a 3/3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm just dead on board. Yeah, I'm just dead. I know my top card, right? And it's not helpful. Maybe I can trick them into attacking Teferi. I think that's my only line here. Pretty sure my top card isn't a white source. I forget what it is. I'm not going to lie. Surgical Extracting, Prismatic Ending in response. That's actually awesome. That shuffles away the shitty card that I was sure I didn't want. And now if I draw a white source off this Teferi trigger, we're in business. Okay. They gave me a window. Please work. White land off the top. White land off the top. Yeah! Okay. Okie dokie, artichokes. Let's do this shit. And I have to fetch the Tundra straight into their wasteland, but I'm not dead on board. Which is better than I can say about 1 second ago. Also, if they spend any energy attacking Teferi instead of shoving lethal at my face, then that's extra life I have to work with. And if they don't do that, then I have Teferi to work with. Okay, they did see the lethal attack. Get my Tundra. Roast your 4/4. Okay, that's out of here. They can wasteland my Tundra and port my plains, but I can plow in response, clear the Solitude in my upkeep, and then I can Days Undoing it their next end step, and untap with a fresh 7. At 3. Okay. They should port white and not blue here. Right. Red's fine. Red's a fine guess. Because if I have Meltdown, they're fucked. Okay. Ponder. Oh, plus Teferi is definitely happening. I can ponder and try to control this fair and square. That takes me off Days Undoing, though, because I'm going to have to plow to stay alive. Yeah, I think I want to plow plus Days Undoing, and that is the line. I'll be at 1, but I think that's okay. Okay. Making a construct now doesn't change anything. None of these creatures care about the number of artifacts in play. They're going face with everything, which is what they should be doing. I can plow the Solitude. I go to 1. End step, I draw a fresh 7. And then I have to navigate 4 lethal attackers. Let's go, control deck. This is what you're for. If I spin into Meltdown, I'm actually good. Just straight up Gucci. Oh, don't do more stuff. Okay, end step. Let's Wheel of Fortune. Or Time Twister, I guess. All right, let's do the twist. There's Meltdown. And I have Teferi in play, so I can cast it as an instant. You don't say. Can't fetch. What happens if I Blood Moon? Their Saga dies, their port's useless. If I just go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. I think Blood Moon is the play here. Plus Teferi. I only need 5 mana to make the plays that I need to make. And, okay. 1, 2, 3. Here's the Blood Moon, which will kill the Urza Saga and turn off the port. And then I play this Mountain that can cast my Meltdown for 1. And I can even hold up a Plow in the meantime. Okay. We might have navigated this, at least temporarily. Guess I'll give them a chance to slam Umazaw's Jutei or something, but I wouldn't even kill that because my Torpor Orb's more important. Okay, Deafening Silence. Fucking whatever. Resolves. I haven't cast any spells this turn. They also only have 30 seconds left. They're going to time out, but I think we're also just winning this game. That resolves. I can kill that. Next turn. Meltdown for X is 1. Splat your shit and none of my shit. All your shit, not my shit. And that's going to be the game, I think. So it depends how many creatures they can put into play right now. Mother. Okay, Mother's also lethal, but I can bounce one of these and plow the other. Swords to Plowshares, the Mother of Runes. Bounce the Spirit. I can't cast any more spells because of the thing. Okay, you have 8 seconds. I'm going to Brainstorm in response. It's my spell for the turn. Well, I'm not going to lie, team. We might lose this one if they had more than 3 seconds on their clock. It depends on what this ponder comes up with. It has to come up with an instant speed answer to... Oh, it actually... We actually just lose because this doesn't work. Okay. Oh, there's Pyroclasm and Dress Down. Well, good thing they timed out. We were going to lose this one right now. Oh, when you miss your land drop, when you hit your 4th land on turn 10 when you're under Rashad Port, life is hard. That's why I'm such a monster about getting basic lands early, especially double white early against Death and Taxes, because if they can take you off a color, you're in a lot of trouble. If Thalia matters, if Port matters, like you play enough lands and enough of them are basics that you can ignore that kind of stuff. But if you ever get pinched under it, especially pinched under it in a way that stops you from developing out from under it, like when they were porting me off blue, so I couldn't ponder to find the new land drops, like that was a pretty bad situation. And if we ever just had land number 4, that game's trivial. But the fact that it ended up at a point where we were at 1 when we were able to stabilize, that was pretty tough. But luckily the clock saved us. This deck was really good, actually. Crazy impressed by how this deck functioned and how reliably it could actually resolve Days Undoing, and just the relentless card draw squeezing of Narset and Hullbreacher. You just have 6 of that effect in your deck. Like, ignore the Days Undoing. Nobody's going to draw any cards against you. That's pretty messed up. We all know I'm a Bant stan, but I do have a local event this weekend, and maybe I was just convinced to play this instead. I don't know. I thought for sure I was just going to be registering Dark Bant, in we go, but this is a very sweet deck with a lot of cool play to it. And I haven't registered Blood Moon in a long time. Maybe I'm going to try this one this weekend. Anyway, deck's sweet. Spunky, thank you for asking me to play this. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the merch, the Patreon, all that stuff. It's in the video description. And I'll see you next time.